Right, welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we're going to be talking about the latest update on the relationship between the European Union and Pfizer, specifically Pfizer, but also all the other firms, including AstraZeneca. But there's been a massive cover-up, which was already reported on, and even the EU Commission have been trying not to really talk about it, about the documents, the contracts between Pfizer and the Commission, which was then eventually published, but in a redacted version. And then they released the details, and now there's a new update because of a different country revealing the contracts between Pfizer and governments, essentially. This is quite disgusting because this came out yesterday, and Robert Kogan reported that the EU's hidden contracts revealed that Pfizer BioNTech was given a preferential treatment in an arrangement branded as a predator. So that came out, but the whole trigger was actually about this. A few days ago, when South Africa's highest court ordered the disclosure of all the procurement contracts when it came to the jabs. And this was the beginning of some of the revelations, which was already actually been revealed in Europe anyway, but somehow everybody in the media completely ignored it. Now, we talked about it, and we had Andrew Bridgen talk about it on this channel, but this is quite interesting. Christian Terras, MEP from Romania, said, well, this is a huge win for transparency and accountability. The South African High Court has now ordered the country's health department to hand copies of all the procurement contracts, including Pfizer, negotiations and agreements to health justice initiatives, right? But this reminded people to go back and look at the Pfizer contracts and the others with the EU, because there was a bit of a different type of treatments in the European Union. Do you remember the massive row between the EU and the UK when it came to AstraZeneca and the Oxford team? Because then you had Macron coming out to say, oh, don't use AstraZeneca, it's the worst thing ever. And then they ordered the same thing and it was delayed. And then the European Union decided to storm into one of their facilities. It was a completely chaotic period, as you guys know. But this was the initial publication of the Pfizer contract with the European Commission. Sensitive document. The EU Commission, acting on behalf of the member states, set out in Annex 3, participating member states. And this was also the contract for Moderna and in Switzerland. Similar type of contract, right? But there was a bit of a issue here because the redacted version seemed like this. This is what we had. So this is paragraph 4, page 48, section 4, page 48. But now we have the unredacted version. This is what it says. Number 4, right? The highlighted section says, the participating member state further acknowledges that the long-term effects and efficacy of these jabs are not currently known and that there may be adverse effects that are currently not known. So both efficacy and the side effects, they did admit that we don't know yet. Legally, they said that, but we didn't see that because it was redacted at first. So what you had was politicians and media and experts coming on TV saying everything's perfect, absolutely perfect, no issue. And don't talk about efficacy because it's very efficient. You take it, you're going to save lives. You can't challenge it. You'll be cancelled. Obviously, there were a lot of people who were creating some crazy theories, but just asking obvious questions, that was not allowed, right? So this is another section. Because of that section, this one is about, this is about the insurance to keep themselves safe. So this second part of it, as you can see, the gray area, that's where it's been redacted. What it actually says is, each participating member state shall indemnify and hold harmless the contractor, as in the big pharma, their affiliate, subcontractors, licensors and sub-licensees and officers, directors, employees and other agents and representatives of each from and against any and all liabilities incurred, settlements as per Article 1.12.6 and reasonable direct external legal costs incurred in the defense of third-party claims, obviously relating to harm, damages and losses as defined in Article 1.12.2. Basically what this says is anybody who's linked to Pfizer, for example, and subcontractors and the employees and licenses should be indemnified and protected legally against any claims. because of what we said before. It's because they admitted that we don't know about the efficacy yet. It's still early days. We don't know about the side effects. It's still early days. But if something goes wrong, it's not our fault. Well, this is just something completely immoral. If people knew about this, they would have raised some questions. The reason they didn't talk about this was because they needed a lot of people the majority to go and take jabs. So imagine if they were honest and transparent about this, then a lot of people would have questioned things, and that would have been more chaotic for the establishment to control the people. So it was a lose-lose situation for people at the top of all governments. And it is completely unacceptable behavior. And right now, the sad reality is, in the past, we could rely on journalism and media to uncover these sort of things. But no, not anymore. Because the media and the political establishment are now going hand in hand. This is why my channel exists, and channels like mine. Let's not forget, Germany, on the 15th of September 2020, there was this press release about BioNTech to receive up to 375 million euros in funding from the German Federal Ministry of Education and Research to support the jab program. The whole point of this was to make sure that they helped Team Pfizer to get preferential treatment compared to AstraZeneca and Team Oxford and all the others. There was a massive clash of PR and legal clash between the big pharma to get their way, and each government basically caved in and did their own arrangements. So in this country, we focused mostly on AstraZeneca, and we were proud, as in the government, politicians saying, Team Oxford. Then, of course, we had the Moderna team, mostly based in Switzerland again, and other plants as well. But then Pfizer, they have better PR people and better negotiators and better business people and better lawyers and accountants. Those guys managed to go inside the European Union, get the contract sorted, and that's why people like Macron were able to come and attack AstraZeneca, saying we don't need AstraZeneca. And then there was a massive problem with the first jab. It was chaotic, as you guys remember, but right now we have to talk about the details of this sort of information when it's been unredacted. We have to talk about why countries like South Africa and many other places in South America as well, who are talking about having some sort of inquiry about these sort of things. We still are not talking about this in the establishment, but there will come a time. There will come a time eventually. It might take years. Some people might have to basically lose their life, and then somehow in their journals and private journals and diaries, they might expose certain things that they can't right now. There will be some whistleblowers, essentially, who we don't know yet right now, and it will be known when they are no longer here, when they go full on Jeffrey Epstein. But we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We'll keep you guys posted on all these developments from the European Commission. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.